This episode is brought to you by Accenture. When your advertising operations fall out of sync, everything else follows. Spotify and Accenture are working together to reinvent the rhythm of ad sales, using automation, analytics, and smarter workflows to simplify campaign delivery and access better data across the business. The result? Less time spent on operations, more time connecting brands with the moments and fandoms that matter most. Learn more at accenture.com/Spotify.
This is going to be an extremely busy month. I have to watch 104 soccer games, follow the pregame, the postgame, yell useless opinions at the TV. It's a lot. So I knew that when it comes to screening for colon cancer, the choice was clear. The Cologuard Plus test. It can be used at home and can only take 15 minutes, so I can do it during halftime and not miss any action. If you are 45 or older and at average risk, ask your healthcare provider about screening for colon cancer with the Cologuard test. You can also request a prescription at Cologuard.com.
It's the Anthony Cumia Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
It is the Anthony Cumia Show. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Another Sunday evening, beautiful summer Sunday evening. And some of you have decided to spend it with me. I'm honored. Boy, you know, a little bittersweet. A little bittersweet this Sunday because it's the last weekend, the last Sunday of Pride Month. I'm all busted up about it, I got to tell you. What a great Pride Month it's been. Doesn't it seem like just yesterday we were seeing videos of hairy man-ass marching down the street and politicians praising degenerate sexuality? And, yeah, that month flies by, doesn't it? Well, thank God today seems to have been the day where all the cities celebrated Pride Month. On this Sunday, they had a lot of the Pride parades, which are just so wonderful to attend. Bring the kids. Bring the kids. So colorful with the rainbow flags and the grown men dressed up like animals being led around with leather harnesses and dog leashes. Oh, the kids love it. My God. Don't order the hot dogs. You suck down a hot dog at the gay parade, you're going to get some looks. Might get some winks. And you might be a little upset at how some people decide to eat that hot dog at the gay parades. Enough said. Enough said for FCC regulated radio, huh? But Seattle, of course, had their big Pride parade today. And I was unlucky enough to scroll past a few videos. This whole thing is about celebrating debaucherous, hazardous to your health, gay sex. That's it. That's what it's all about. They march around, the politicians come out, and, some of our favorite entertainers come out and they're marching and waving their rainbow flags. And it's a pride celebration. They go, it's a parade and it's celebrating love and being able to be who you are and love who you want. It's about bravery, courage, and standing up for what you believe in. And then you look at the parade, and it's about men that are, in some cases, like I saw in this Seattle video, completely nude. Just naked, hairy, disgusting men marching down the street on leashes and various S&M costumes with kids watching the parade because their dumb-ass parents thought it would be a great idea. Let's go to the parade. You know parades you go see? St. Patty's Day. There you go. Columbus Day Parade. Very nice. Very nice. The Macy's, if you're in New York, the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. All the balloons and There you go. What you don't take your children to is a parade that is based, the whole thing is based on debaucherous sexual behavior. They are showing their sexual activities to you out on the street. And if you're a parent that brings your kid to that, you're just as disgusting as the slobs marching down the street. What are they proud of? What are they proud of? That they've chosen a lifestyle and a sexual proclivity that includes things that I can't even speak of here on public airwaves. But I think you know. Suffice to say, it probably hurts. It's probably messy. And it probably leaves the room smelling very bad. That's how I'll describe it to you. Disgusting. Oh, Jesus, he's a fanook. So I've just been, I've been celebrating, I guess, pride. Dude, it is so bad. It is so bad. And the aspect, the pride aspect, I don't delve into a lot of religion, especially on the radio shows that I do, because I think it's, people have their faith. I have mine, and I don't think it's appropriate. But why would you name your whole thing, everything that you're for, pride? This is pride. It's literally one of the 7 deadly sins. And people are constantly calling out gays for being, Satan. It's crazy. And then you choose pride. And then it looks like a lot of what you see there is a lot of the other sins. A lot of other sins piled up on top. But the big thing is just having kids there at these parades. If you want to live a disgusting, debaucherous lifestyle like that, there's no need to go out and shake your genitals in the street with kids there watching. And you're proud of it. They love it, by the way. They I hate to use the term rub it in your face, but that's what they enjoy doing. Think back, they bring up Stonewall, the fight for gay people to be themselves out in the street, to hold hands with a loved one and not be beaten to death. All right. As Americans, as civilized Americans, we went, you know what? Why not? Why not? It seems a little harsh that if a guy loves some other guy and they want to hold hands on the street, they certainly shouldn't get pummeled for it. And we all agreed, and it was looked at like, look at how tolerant and accepting the people are. It certainly isn't the 50s anymore. And then it's the old, give them an inch, they'll take 8 inches. If you know what I mean. Yeah, give them an inch, they'll take a mile. And that's exactly what we're seeing. This isn't the fight for equality. This isn't a fight for gay people to love who they love in public and not have to be beaten for it, called, they bullied for it, whatever. If it was that would be easy, because most people, most citizens, most heterosexual people walk down the street with their significant other, and yeah, they'll hold hands. Might, oh, okay, sweetie, I got to catch the train. You're off to work. How about a peck on the cheek? How about a peck on the cheek? And that's it. That's how people express their affection for their significant other in public. And I don't think many people, most people in this country, especially in this day and age, have no issue with that, regardless of your sexuality. But when was the last time you saw heterosexuals naked because they're so proud to be hetero, flaunting their genitals in children's faces at a so-called parade? They want to do that. That's not equality. That's special treatment. You're allowed to do this horrific act with impunity. And perish the thought anyone has a problem with it, because then they are homophobic and transphobic and all the other phobes and ists and other things that they want to call people. But the truth of the matter is, keep your disgusting lifestyle in the bedroom, in your smelly, stained bedroom. And, we'll do the same. If you're repulsed by heterosexual sex, we'll do the same damn thing. Keep it to yourself in your little, the privacy of your room. They don't want that. No one that cries for equality wants equality. Equality sucks. People can criticize you. They could bully you. That's equality, because that's what happens to everybody. They all want special treatment. They want to be able to get away with things no one else can get away with. They want their lifestyle or their race, sexuality, religion, whatever it is, they want it front and center, pushed into your face, and if you say a word about it, you're the problem. And the gay community has been at this for quite some time. And it's disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting. These hairy men just marching around with children at the parades that these demented liberal parents take their kids to and screw up their heads. Oh, it's an abomination. Oh, we are just getting started, people. I want to hear what you have to say here on the Anthony Cumia Show. 800-848-9222. 800-848-9222 if you want to contribute. Anthony Cumia on X, if you want to post under the post that I just put up before the show. I read that during the breaks. And a lot more to come. Oh, my goodness gracious. So many things to talk about. Be back in a moment.
It's the Anthony Cumia Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network. It's the Anthony Cumia Show. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
The Anthony Cumia Show. Thanks for tuning in. Talking about Pride. Hey, we're coming up to the tail end, the ass end of Pride month this weekend. And, we'll all be sad to see it go, because it's not like every month is Pride Month. Every day there's some issue, there's some pandering to the gay community. It only happens during Pride Month. Sure it does, Anthony. But, we're talking about the Pride parades and their want and need for acceptance and tolerance, and all we want to do is live our lives as our best selves and without the fear of any type of harm that people might bestow upon us for being gay. So I'm looking at a couple of clips we got here. First is Liz Warren. You could always expect some nonsensical crap to come out of her maw. Every time she opens her yap, something stupid falls right out. And this is no different. I guess the Trump administration has removed some language from the LGBTQ protection on housing. You cannot discriminate against people based on their sexuality, their race, creed, whatever that is, color. All the things. We're all Americans. We all have our rights. and those are bestowed upon us by God, and they cannot be removed. And LGBTQ people have those rights. As being American citizens, they have the rights that everyone else has. So do black people. So do people that are here, immigrants that are here legally. But some people think they need extra special rights. We have the rights under the Constitution. I know that. But we like having sex like this. So we need special rights, don't we? No. No, you really don't. But because some of the language specifically saying that LGBTQ people need extra protection when buying a house or renting, they can't be discriminated against. I guess the Trump administration, some people in the Trump administration said, yeah, we don't need to do that. They're covered. They're covered under Americans. They're covered under people aren't to be discriminated against. And, well, of course, that's a problem because, like I said before, they want to be extra special. And Liz Warren has a boy got a bone to pick with you about this one, Donald Trump, because the gay people don't need to be. Yeah, we get it. We get it, you hen. You hen. So here she is, AC10, Liz Warren, talking about LGBTQ protection.
The Trump administration has something to hide. They don't want you to know that they are enabling housing discrimination against gay, lesbian, and transgender Americans. They have quietly removed sexual orientation and gender identity from the list of protected characteristics at the Department of Housing and Urban Development.
Right.
It's a sad fact that LGBTQ Americans are more likely to experience homelessness. The Trump administration's move would drive the wedge deeper, making it so that if you're looking for a safe place to call home and you're discriminated against because of who you are or who you love, you will have no recourse, no help from the federal government. Oh, and it gets worse. Part of the Trump administration's guidance tells homeless shelters and housing providers to, quote unquote, inspect the sex of a person seeking shelter.
Inspect the genitals.
Gross.
Take a good
and
look.
It is un-American. And they are doing all this secretly because they don't want us to find out and raise the alarm. Well, we know now, and we are not going to be quiet about it. More than 20 of my Democratic colleagues and I have called on the administration to withdraw this terrible guidance because LGBTQ Americans deserve a safe place to call home.
Shut up. Oh, God, that voice. You know, we're on to you, Donald Trump. First of all, I don't even know where to start with that nonsense. Again, they've removed some language, redundant, repetitive language. They're covered. They don't need a special extra section that says all Americans are due the right to housing and not to be discriminated against when they are trying to get a house or rent a place as a human being living in this country. It covers everyone. But the politicians like Liz Warren and their ilk, they want to get votes. They want to pander to certain groups like the gays, the LGBT, and they add their name to these lists where they're already protected because you're equal, and then they have to add their name to it. And Liz goes, look what we did for you. And it's garbage. It means nothing. Gays are just as protected as they've ever been from the Constitution and from the laws that are in place, non-discrimination laws. Unfortunately, tell you the truth, how I feel about it, that's just the way it is. And they think putting the LGBTQ thing in there is is necessary. It's not. And she goes on to just ramble about their homeless rate. Yeah, a lot of gay men especially, and transgender people, they're nuts. They're mentally ill. A lot of mentally ill people end up homeless and on the street. That's a sad truth that happens in our society. And how about confirming the gender of homeless people when they're going into a shelter? It's called common sense, you dingbat. It's called common sense. You have homeless people that are probably mentally unstable at the least, if not completely bat crap crazy. You're letting them in shelters with vulnerable people, other homeless people, women, sometimes children are in these shelters. And they're divvied up by sex, by gender, real gender, not the BS liberal gender agenda. It's common sense to make sure that a woman coming into a women's shelter where mothers might be there with their kids isn't a man. And I don't care what they say. No, it's not a man. That's a woman. Define a woman. Well, there's so many definitions of shut it. If you have women and kids, girls, in a shelter, the last thing you want to do is put some degenerate man in a dress with his male pattern baldness skullet so he could put a ribbon in it. Like Jesse Ventura, put a bow in my hair. I'm going to the ladies' shelter. Look, I put on a dress, and I'm using the same feather boa I used when I wrestled. I've seen so many of these dudes in dresses, and they're bald. They're bald, and they put lipstick on, they smear it on, and rouge and eyelashes. And then they want to be treated like women. And damn you if you misgender them. And she thinks it's fine that the guy comes up and goes, yeah, I'm a broad. Check out my stems. I got a set of gams. Let me in. That isn't what is supposed to happen. That's not how this works. But Liz Warren and the rest of them. Plenty more to talk about when we return after these words.
It's the Anthony Cumia Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network. It's the Anthony Cumia Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
The Anthony Cumia Show. And talking about pride. I'm so proud of the people in Pride. Jeepers. So, talking a little bit about pride. And, people might say that I'm being hateful. I'm not being tolerant. This is the type of bigotry and whatnot. No, it isn't. It isn't. As I said at the top of the show, if you want to be treated equally and fairly and not be put in danger or even chastised for your lifestyle, I'm all for that. I'm not some type of ogre, ladies and gentlemen. But it's been pushed so far with zero pushback. Don't take that sexually. Zero pushback. And someone has to say something. If it's me, if it's other people. I know I'm not alone. I've had conversations with people that feel the same way. I've gone on social media. And I read things from people and watch videos that feel the exact same way. This has gone way too far. This is another form of indoctrination. I almost made a joke there that might have gotten me in trouble. It's indoctrination of children, trying to push this lifestyle on kids. They put books in schools that are unbelievably pornographic. It's pornographic. And they put them in the school libraries. And then when sensible parents say, I don't want my kid to have access to these books. They go, look, like Nazis, a book burning. They're banning books. Yeah, those books are being banned because parents don't want some degenerate teacher or counselor or school principal or what have you having a say over what and when their kids learn about sex. That's to be left to the kids and their friends in some back alley. That's right. Oh, I mean the parents. That's where you learn. Kids learn about sex from their friends. You get the basic outline because you usually start talking about it with your friends before your parents ever think they should say something. It's always been an awkward thing. I think to this day, the last thing a parent wants to do is pull their kid aside and give them that talk. I never got that talk from my parents. That's not what happened back then. The thought of my mom or dad sitting me down and talking about anything having to do with sex to this day gives me a hemorrhage. It is an awful, awful thought to have. You went out, you learned about it through your friends, an older sibling perhaps, and you got a basic outline. And then as you got older, you kind of corrected some of the things you were told that were ridiculous, funny as hell. A lot of things that I was told initially when I was a little kid. Once I got a little older and learned a bit more about what the truth was, some of the stuff you learn as a kid is fantastically hilarious. And that's the innocent, real way, I think, that people in the past, myself included, learned about sexuality. The idea that some teacher with an agenda is going to hang up gay flags and have some gay guy come in or some drag queen is going to come in and discuss sexuality and, oh, you're a girl? Well, let me tell you something. And some poor little girl is sitting in the classroom. Oh, he's a boy and you're a girl? Well, let me correct you, you little piece of crap. I'm a woman. The kid starts crying because he could see stubble like daddy has. It's terrible. What are you doing? What am I doing? Here's another clip I wanted to play because it just never ends. And no one, I tell you, these LGBTQ groups, they just don't learn. They don't learn from the past. You might remember something. It was sometime around the early 80s. It was called, oh, I don't know, AIDS. That's right, the AIDS-Ds. And AIDS just ravaged the gay community. A lot of people, when I see an older gay gentleman that I knew must have probably have been sexually active during the 70s and 80s, I look at him like a guy that did 3 tours in the Nam. Like, how the hell are you still alive? And, some of them made it through. A lot of them didn't. Freddie Mercury is one of them. That's a shame. Loved his music, but some of his personal lifestyle there, wow. Surprised he didn't get it a lot earlier. So here's a man in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where Minneapolis is very proud during Pride Month to announce that they have repealed the ban on, get this, sex in bathhouses. Yeah. Someone in Minneapolis decided, hey, remember AIDS? Remember how it was spread through just dangerous gay sex where people didn't know who their partner was 1 minute to the next? They sat in these warm, wet Petri dishes that were called bathhouses and spread the disease. Well, I guess monkeypox isn't bad enough, and some of the other diseases that are exclusive to the gay community, because Minneapolis decided, let's see what happens if we allow gay people to have sex in bathhouses again, like we did during AIDS. So here's a gentleman talking about the repeal of that law, AC7.
The only out LGBTQ plus person on this council. I say it because I know what it has meant for so many in our community to have no one in this chamber who could look at this ban and say, I know what it cost us. I know who this ban was aimed at, and I know that the hate that came with this ban was wrong and still is. Someone who will acknowledge that bathhouse restrictions have a history that is intertwined with anti-2S LGBTQIA bigotry. 2S? In particular, the history of homophobia in Minneapolis. And today's vote is a step to try and rectify past harms.
Rectify. I have to put in an 8th grade joke every so often. Unbelievable. It's anti-gay to have put legislation in place that quite literally saved people's lives in the gay community, exclusively gay people. Perhaps were saved by closing down these bathhouses. New York City was just a wash, if I may use the pun, in these gay bathhouses. And they would go in there, and it was Sodom and Gomorrah, Caligula. This was just some of the most debaucherous, disgusting displays of horrific sex. And it spread the virus. It spread the virus over the course of the years. And now, it's like how people look at 9/11. Let's just get some communists and Muslims into office in the very city that was devastated by 9/11. We just forget. People forget. This gay guy doesn't remember some emaciated life partner sipping chicken broth, petting his Yorkie as he withers away because there was bathhouse sex. No. You don't think it could happen. Take a little shot of penicillin or something. Just wait. AIDS was pretty bad. But now you barely ever hear anyone dying of AIDS. They kind of figured it out. You want to go back and try to conjure up another deadly disease that is spread literally by, I feel for a couple of the poor kids that had hemophilia and had to get blood transfusions, and they got a bad batch, Ryan White, I think, one of those kids. Some people got it, and they weren't participating in gay sex, but the vast majority of men that died of AIDS were gay men. And, a few years later, a few decades later, you don't want to heed that warning, do you? It's just too good. Is the thought of it too good? Splashing around in a nice warm tub with a hairy man. I hope I'm not turning anyone on with my my talk here. My goodness gracious. Let's talk to Mark. Mark in PA. What's up?
Hey, Anthony. I'm a first-time caller and also a really big fan of yours.
Thank you, sir.
And I just wanted to talk about the gay parade and all that. Like that stuff just makes me sick and all. And I have 2 young kids. And it's just really disgusting.
Do you have to?
I would never send them.
Do you find yourself having to deprogram them if they are they homeschooled? Do they go to public school?
Unfortunately, they do go to public school, but so like when they come home, I kind of have to like tell them, that stuff's not.
Got to give them a debriefing. Right, It's crazy. It's crazy.
Right.
Man.
And also today's my birthday, so unfortunately I have to celebrate that crap with the Gay Pride Month.
Well, you got a couple of kids. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and say that you're not involved in the pride thing. But happy birthday, Mark.
No. Well, you know what? I am 42 years young.
There you go.
As somebody would say on your old show.
Yes. Good old Jim Norton. I love it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mark. I appreciate the call. Got to move on, though. Got to move on a little. Let's talk to Max in Manhattan. Max, what's up, man?
Anthony, thank you for taking my call.
Speaking, yes.
I want my money back.
What's
because
the
you
problem?
promised to give us more Trump, more Bob Grant, and you gave us a little Jesse Ventura.
That's
so that's
right.
good. I like that. But you're not keeping up to your end of the bargain here.
Well, I think that you told me this last week, and it's a new week, so I still got a few hours. I'll try to put him in. I could get some tricky Dick Nixon for the over 60 crowd because I think Mayor Brandon Johnson was blaming Nixon for all the racial problems and the murders in Chicago. Yeah, wait till you hear that one in a little bit.
Be good. I'd like to hear that.
All right, I will try to fit those in, Max. Thank you. How about F. Frank?
That's correct.
E. Frank.
That is right.
What's up? In Astoria, Queens. What's up, my friend?
Yes, how you doing, my friend? I just would like to say, the Pride New York parade or march, wherever they want to consider it as such, was very well organized and very successful for many of the movement supporters and marchers. But I want to say no one talks anymore about words like politically incorrect or what's that other word? Heterosexual independence or understandings or divorce issues with adultery. It's like, the LGBT movement has some oversight over everything in many of our lives, and what they say is important, and what has passed in the past is no longer significant to anyone in society. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do with the opinion of LGBTs versus the word heterosexuality anymore. What do you think?
Oh, well, first of all, it's not heterosexuality, E. Frank, because it's called cisgender. We're all sissies. I love how they piled that one on us, like we can't make up our own name. They make up all their own names. We can't call ourselves straight, heterosexual, whatever it is. No, you're cis. You're cisgender. No, I'm not. That's first of all. Secondly, you make a good point because they have say over everything. They have say over how we talk about sexuality. If we're utterly disgusted with their sexual lifestyle, we should be able to talk about it. But no. You can get fired. You can get canceled. Not as much as some other groups have power to cancel you and get you fired. But the gays, boy, they don't want anyone speaking ill of them, no matter how sickening some of them, I'll say some of them, their lifestyle is. But, yeah, thanks, man. Thank you, sir. It's one of those things you feel like you have no recourse. And people tell you to mind your own business. Who's it hurting? It's victimless, Oh, mind your own business. Let people live their lives. And then you see a ton of videos of gays and trans LGBTQ people. They're just invading your space, your lifestyle. These men in dresses, they're on college campuses, and if a conservative wants to set up a table or hold a sign, they come over, and they are the most manly men you'll ever see. They hate being misgendered. They'll stand there and go, don't you call me ma'am. It's not miss, I'm a woman. And if you say that again, I'm going to come over there and knock your teeth out. Oh, excuse me, miss. Oh, I should have noticed how daintily you balled up your hairy-knuckled fists to try to punch me. It's beyond all reason. things that are happening in this world in 2026 are beyond reason. You see it, you look at it, and you go, this cannot be real. Some of the amazing things, sometimes you think about what would people from the past think of this? And it's usually some amazing technological thing, the iPhone, computers. There's so much technology, Tesla, cars. Take somebody that is driving a 59 Rambler with a metal dashboard. You used to have to worry as a kid that your head would bounce off of it. And put him in a brand new car and let him look at the dashboard, the touch screen, the air conditioning, everything. They think they were in a spaceship. That's the amazing thing. Whenever I think, like, what would people from the past think of this? And then you think about what would they think about pride and seeing a gay parade in Seattle where men are naked and little kids are on the sidewalk having to watch this disaster. And I got to be honest, I don't think they'd be too happy about it. And it wouldn't be because they're not tolerant people, accepting people. It's gotten way over the line. It's way over the line. And again, you try to say something about it or discuss it, and you're the problem. You're the bigot. You're the one that's full of hate. And people need to love is love. And yeah, not on a public street with your thing hanging out. Now I sound like I'm shaking my fist on my lawn, but that's what's going on. It's terrible. All right, a lot more going on. Your calls. We got to talk about New York being taken over by commies and Muslims. When we return, stick around.
It's the Anthony Cumia Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
This episode is brought to you by Fox One. Watch all 104 matches of the FIFA World Cup live in 4K for just $19.99 a month with 3 days free. Build your own multi-view, choose up to 3 streams, and follow player spotlights. Stay on top of every moment with live stats, highlights, and instant replays. The FIFA World Cup, streaming live on Fox One. Offers are subject to change. See Fox.com for complete terms and conditions.
Need a laptop that's built to perform and designed to last all day? Select Windows 11 PCs starting at $499.99 are now at Best Buy. Learn more at bestbuy.com. Best Buy. Imagine that.
I wrote a little song to remind you Choice Hotels get you more of the experiences you value. The Cambria Hotel's got it all. A rooftop bar, have a ball. Cocktails up here feel just right. Is Cambria amazing? All right. Bring a date, your teen, or even your mom. Book direct at choicehotels.com. See you on the roof.
Want to elevate your travel experience? Here's how. With a Delta SkyMiles Reserve American Express card, you can relax before your flight in the Delta Sky Club with up to 15 visits per medallion year. And now through July 15th, 2026, you can earn up to 125,000 bonus miles, so you're closer to your next adventure. The Delta SkyMiles Reserve card. Check out the new design at www.delta.com/Spotify. Minimum spending requirements and terms apply.
It's the Anthony Cumia Show.
Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
The Anthony Cumia Show, and checking in on X. Anthony Bailey says the most telling part of Elizabeth Warren's delusion is her saying, I'm not going to stand for it. I'm not going to stand for it. She self-righteously thinks she's fighting oppression. Meanwhile, she's standing up to removing redundant anti-discrimination language. It's exactly what it is. They just use that as a way to pander. Oh, we'll put this language in as far as anti-discrimination goes, and it's the same as it was. Nothing changed. But that's how they think. That's how they work. Might as well take another call. This whole hour has been so gay. What a gay show for the first hour. Larry, Staten Island. What's up?
Hey, Ed, how are you?
Good, good. How you doing?
Good. I want to talk about pride, but I want to talk about American pride.
Yes.
And I'm talking about the upcoming 250th birthday of our country next week.
Yep.
And I want to compare it to 76, the bicentennial. Anthony, the last one, there was electricity in the air weeks before the event, the abseil and all the festivities. People were painting fire hydrants. People were painting light poles, red, white, and blue. Flags were everywhere. This one here, I don't see any feeling electricity in the air. What's your thoughts or comments?
Oh, my God. You are absolutely right, Larry. I was just talking about this on another program, and, I recall I was in my early teens during the first bicentennial, and it was, well, actually, it's the second centennial, the bicentennial, or the what? So I remember it. I remember it fondly because, yes, like you said, there was a spirit of America in this country. Every commercial on television, every company that was trying to sell something, it was red, white, and blue, America. The songs were patriotic. The people that they showed, they were loving America. And it wasn't fake. It wasn't put on. There was a true spirit of America back then. That is gone, my friend. I feel so bad about that. And it's not just that I'm looking back nostalgically with the rose-colored glasses on. There aren't enough Americans in this country to be proud of this country. The majority of white people, of Europeans, of people that there was a commonality to being an American. If your neighbor was cooking outside, grilling, you could walk over and have a conversation with them about anything going on in your life. That's just not happening anymore. They're making these enclaves of Somalis, Muslims, of people from third world countries, from Haiti. We'll talk about that debacle in a little bit. And it has fractured the American people and made us where we're not as together as Americans as we used to be. And it's a shame. It's a damn shame because I remember those great times and American spirit that we had in 76.
Oh, boy, yes, we did.
Yeah. So it's a damn shame there, Larry. Thanks for the call. Yeah. Let me see. Take a quick time check. Yeah, I want to get into the commies and Muslims that have won their primary, the Democrats that won the primary in New York, and it's just another right hook to the city of New York and the state of New York. I don't know what's going on with the people. Again, maybe it's the same thing I just said. The actual Americans that love the tradition and ideology behind being an American are just too fractured at this point. There's not enough of them. And there's these powerful groups of immigrants that don't care a damn about America. And New York especially, and a lot of these big cities, I guess, they just keep electing them over and over and over. They just keep electing more commies. Communism now is the big thing. That's the new cool, I'm voting for a communist. Oh, democratic socialist. Stop. Just stop already. These are communists. They don't care about socialism. They want the government to have all the power, and they dole out little crumbs to the people and say that they're taking care of everybody equally. It's equally bad. That's how they deal with the public in communist governments. Everyone gets treated the same. Yeah, badly. But that's where we are, unfortunately. And we'll talk about that after the break. And we got Trump's comments on it, which were pretty funny. So don't go anywhere. Stick around. We will be right back.
It's the Anthony Cumia Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network. It's the Anthony Cumia Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
It's the Anthony Cumia Show. And a little post I saw here on X says the LGBT community say they find messages being displayed on churches' digital screens in Chicago offensive and demand they be removed. Yes, they're demanding. The pastor says the messages he posts on the sign are appropriate to the season, like Christmas or Easter, and June happens to be Pride Month. The church displays messages like, "We love you enough to tell you the truth," and to ditch pride and embrace humility. These are messages the LGBTQ community can't stand and demand they remove them. Protesters gathered with rainbow flags at the church in Palatine, Illinois. They also are demanding the pride flag be flown at City Hall, but they keep getting denied due to the ordinances. And then the guy who posted this puts from, "We just want to get married," to, "We are going to control what you post on your church signs." Just another example of what I've been saying here, this show, and for quite some time now. The inch, they will take the mile. Let's move on to communist New York. The commie USS NYC. Here we go. Here's a candidate, I guess, the names. A couple of candidates won the primary, the Democrat primary. They are socialists, Islam, and they'll probably win in November. I can't imagine a Republican candidate that has a chance of winning anything in the state of New York or in the city of New York especially, but in the state. So here is commie candidate. Let me see if I got this one right. Darializa Avila Chevalier. All right. For the New York 13th District, Upper Manhattan and the Bronx, Democrat socialist commie. Far left positions include abolishing ICE and prisons. Just get rid of prisons. Who needs them? Open borders, of course, the opposition to deportations, strong pro-Palestine stance, and universal housing, schools. How do you get universal housing? It's a child's view of how the world works or should work, or politics, and of course anti-corporate, because those corporations, they're the things ruining everything. There are so many great examples around the world of socialism / communism. It does not work. The masses of people are living in poverty. They have no rights. They have no power to do anything. And the whole selling point is that the government is the people, you know? The people run everything. The government just happens to be the people. So when they say the people are taking care of each other and supplying food and housing, it's a small group of very powerful, very wealthy leaders in these communist socialist nations, and they dole out things, necessities to their population, like you're sprinkling fish food in the fish tank. And all the fish come up, the little bubbles, and they start eating. And then you go, okay, we'll see you a couple of days, and you're hungry again. That's socialism, communism. It doesn't work. It's never worked. It can't work. And so many of these imbecilic liberals are embracing this. Embracing it. Like the gay guy with the bathhouses. They don't see that the damage that has been done previously. Nothing's changed. It's not different. It's not going to work. It's going to fail like every other communist regime fails. Or if they stick it out as long as some countries like Cuba, you'll find people driving around in 50, 60-year-old vehicles in crappy tin shacks with no power whatsoever. No recourse, no voice. And that's what they want. They want this. So this Daria-Liza Avila Chevalier, she wants to talk about her, her position, what she does. This is AC2. Let's listen to her.
What's your response to that? The DSA has a reputation of focusing too much on class and maybe downplaying race.
Yeah, I came to my politics of socialism, democratic socialism, through a race lens, right? I was doing a lot of reading of the Black radical tradition. I was doing a lot of organizing around
inclusive,
ending mass incarceration, around immigration justice. I, was part of BYP 100, Black Youth Project 100, Families for Freedom, doing immigration justice organizing. And a number of other organizations around racial justice and economic justice. Oh. And my research, my doctoral research is around a lot of these issues. And for me, racial justice and economic justice have always been inextricable.
Oh, yeah.
And that is how I came to a politics of socialism, right? And I think for DSA, I think they share a politics of socialism, and they share an infrastructure for electoral politics that I think would benefit all of our communities, right? And I think there's always organizing to be done. Sometimes you have to organize your own people, right? And as an organizer, I tell people to organize me, right? Because we have to allow ourselves to be brought into that organizing work to actually be able to build the coalitions that are necessary to empower for all of us. Right. And to actually, this question of how we talk to one another, right? I think it's deeply important that we're building multiracial, multi-ethnic coalitions of working class people.
Except white.
Also center at the heart of it, racial justice. Because there is no economic justice without racial justice.
Oh, of course not. Economic justice. What a dopey thing to say. Economic justice. First of all, does she sound like someone that's going to treat all of her constituents equally? I mean, I understand her Bronx, and, she's going to be in a district that is predominantly minority. Majority there, black and brown, people of color, as they say. And but belonging to all of these black organizations that she stated there, does she sound like somebody that's going to look at people and treat everyone the same as far as her leadership goes? Or might she be a little biased when it comes to people of color and giving them what they need to the detriment of other constituents that might live in her districts? This is what's happening. You're getting activists, radical activists, that just want to take care of their own people. Socialists, communists, minorities, whatever it is. And she's so anti-business. How the hell are you going to make money in your district without businesses? You think local small businesses from a people that are historically not very good at running local businesses, you think they're going to be able to keep you in the tax revenue that you need to run a district? It fails miserably every single time. Every single time. But, who am I? What am I, a politician? I don't know. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I don't know any better. But she's just one. There's another one. Oh, my God. Kawas. Wait, what happened? What in the hell happened to this country? And we're looking at they're communists, Muslims, and in New York City, where we are coming up on the 25th anniversary of one of the worst days in American history, 9/11. And we are, again, you could not tell someone from the past what the future was going to hold for New York City and New York State when you look at who is being elected and put in leadership positions. Because I remember, I'm not one of the, when they say never forget, and you see the World Trade Center towers, and I didn't. It is impossible for me to forget the nightmare of 9/11. And especially, having been in Brooklyn and then driving into Manhattan and seeing the carnage, the destruction. I didn't forget. I know a lot of people that haven't forgotten. The voters seem to have forgotten, or they never knew. These are, again, foreigners, people that have no idea what America is about. They didn't live through their life as Americans, and they're voting for these people that are, their one desire is to tear down every single thing that made America, America. That's all. It's as easy as that. We'll hear from Aber Kawas right after these words. Don't go anywhere.
It's the Anthony Cumia Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network. It's the Anthony Cumia Show.
Entertaining and informative
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
The Anthony Cumia Show. Thanks for popping in on this Sunday evening. We do appreciate it greatly. I just saw in Dearborn, Michigan, there's no gay parades going on there, I assure you. Dearborn, Michigan, they're having an Islamic march. Big parade. You see the flags of Islamic nations, and then, of course, the gay parades taking place. And then you look at something like the UFC event that was put on at the White House and how that was criticized. And everything that happened there was terrible. And it was an embarrassment. That's what I heard. Even, I'm a fan of Larry David's work on Curb Your Enthusiasm, of course, Seinfeld. And then I see him on a video saying that it was an embarrassment to the country to see UFC on the lawn of the White House, people having a great time, American flags, very patriotic. The national anthem, what a great version of the national anthem that was, the harmonies with the military singing and the flyover. I don't know any true patriot, true American that does not get goosebumps when you see some of our amazing machines piloted by our amazing flyers fly over at the perfect moment during the national anthem. I got goosebumps this second, right now, just talking about it. And that was embarrassing to Larry David. And I'm sure so many other Hollywood celebrities and politicians. You heard them talking about this abomination on the White House lawn. And meanwhile, it was a great show of patriotism It was an event, whether you like it or not. You might hate UFC. That's fine. But calling that an embarrassment while naked men right now at this moment are marching down the street in front of children in the name of gays and pride. When Dearborn, Michigan has streets as far as you could see packed with Muslims waving every single flag except the American flag, the ISIS flag, the Palestinian flag. All these flags are being waved. Does Larry David find that embarrassing? Would he ever say that that's embarrassing? Never. But a patriotic event. And I guarantee you that on the 4th of July, if you can find any patriotic displays and parades and Americans waving the American flag, you will see the left crapping all over it. Oh, it reminded me of white supremacy. Oh, the tyrannical Trump government and he's a dictator and a Nazi. I felt like I was in Nuremberg. They wouldn't even know what Nuremberg is. So they just say Hitler. Literally Hitler. You know who was literally Hitler? Hitler. No one else was literally Hitler. You dummies. So they'll crap all over that. But like I said, naked men walking down the streets in the name of pride, and they're embarrassed at an American event celebrating pride in nation. It's so disgusting. It's so disgusting. All right, let's look at this other commie candidate in New York. This is Naga work here anymore. Greatest line ever. Also referred to as Kawas in election result. Okay. Palestinian American community organizer. How many of these community organizers, that should make you ineligible to run for office. Community organizer. Activist and Democratic socialist who recently won the Democratic primary for New York State Senate in District 12. Born and raised in New York to Palestinian parents, refugees, immigrants, of course. She identifies strongly as a Palestinian American and a Muslim. Daughter of a Jordanian national who was deported. Reports indicate for property fraud related issues. Though Kawas has framed it publicly as tied to post-9/11 anti-Muslim policies and a cruel immigration system. All right, so her father's a Jordanian national who was deported for fraud-related issues. And then she blames post-9/11 Muslim policies. This personal story has been central to her advocacy on immigration reform. Holy mother of God. All right, let's hear from let's hear from this commie.
And finding that, the system of capitalism and racism, and white supremacy, etc., and Islamophobia have all been used, to colonize lands, right, to take resources from other people. And so this is like a long trajectory, and we're just seeing the manifestations of that continuation, right, with 9/11. And so a lot of times when people are asking us to respond about, attack, right, if you look back, historically, right, a lot of us come from lands that were colonized, lands where wars are being waged, right, and a lot of times because of U.S. policy or the policies in Europe. And so I find that we can connect over that, but then also that the idea that we have to apologize for a terror attack that a couple of people did, and then there is no apology or reparations for genocide and for slavery. et cetera, is something that I kind of find like reprehensible.
Oh my God. You know, I try so hard not to use the word retarded. I do. And I would never use it to try to describe or talk about or insinuate I was trying to describe a person with mental disabilities. This woman is retarded. I just got to put that out there. This babble. If I was, let's say I'm in a bar and I'm lonely, and this is the only girl left. We've met eyes, and maybe I think there's something could happen here. And she starts rambling on like that. I would leave. I would go home and take care of business all by myself. This is the type of just verbal vomit that you get from a complete imbecile. And no one listens to her unless you're trying to pick her up at a bar or some function. No one in their right mind would listen to that rambling babble. Oh, all the catchphrases, the racism, and 9/11, and it's peppered in with like every 2 seconds is like. This is your District 12 Democrat nomination for the elections in November, New York. If you are in District 12, this is going to be the woman representing you. Godspeed. Because she sounds like an idiot. An agenda-driven moron. And that's your gal. This is your girl. She is making AOC look like a genius, a political genius. This is who you decided you want representing you, New York. Communist Muslim women that are blithering idiots. Yes, blithering. I have added blithering to the word idiot when describing Burr-Kawas. Will there ever be a Republican? Will there ever be a Republican elected to any office in New York? Or is New York State, the entire state, doomed? All right, back in a moment.
It's the Anthony Cumia Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network. It's the Anthony Cumia Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
The Anthony Cumia Show. I'm still flabbergasted by listening to that woman. I don't know what that was. Is there a debate? Is there will there be a Republican to debate this woman for office? I don't know. I really do have to delve a little deeper and see if it's a lock that this is going to be your District 12 representative. Holy moly. Just insane. Let's go to Lou. Lou in Floral Park, New York. What's up, Lou?
Yes, you want racial equality, you assimilate. You want economic equality, you get a job. That is all it is. You can't ask for anything if you don't give anything.
Oh, Lou, it's so simple. That is it in a nutshell. You want this economic equity and economic justice, they call it. I'll tell you what's just economically. You work, you pay your bills, you buy things within your means, you contribute to the society and community you live in, and you will have economic justice. Their version of economic justice is, I do nothing, you're privileged, so you pay me out of what you make. That is not justice. That is thievery.
It's a crime on me.
Yeah. Yeah, we're all paying through the nose and they want some type of economic justice. All the time people yell about wanting justice. They think justice means give me what I'm asking for. The Carmelo Anthony case is perfect. You know, justice. We just want justice for Carmelo. And it's like, well, justice was served. He was convicted, sentenced, and he's in prison right now. That is justice. Oh, we want economic justice. You want that? How about you look around, realize if you're living in a black community, how many Asians are running every business in your community, and you start thinking about opening up your own businesses and keeping it within your people.
And the bias against the Asian grocery owners by the black people is like off the charts. You know, how dare you move into my neighborhood and build a business? Well, then why didn't your own people build a business?
Exactly, Lou. There was that case where the Asian guy, Mr. Chow, I believe his name was, he shot a young black man who was robbing his store. He was acquitted on self-defense. People have their opinions about the case.
Because the black guy pointed a gun at his son.
Pointed a gun at his son, exactly.
Right.
A lot of people don't want to.
I mean, what father wouldn't, protect his son or daughter?
And the court decided he was within his right, self-defense, to do what he did. And then the black community in that area especially started saying, well, we're going to boycott all of the Asian businesses. You go to any predominantly black community, Asians run everything.
They're going to boycott. Where are they going to buy their groceries then?
And they're treated like garbage. They're robbed. They're injured a lot of times. The Asian business owners take a lot of guff from the black community, and they'll just leave. If they left, they'd be in a big jam in a lot of these black communities. Because for some reason, and we could all speculate, I won't do it here, but they have not built their own businesses in their own neighborhoods. And,
no, they have not. Yeah. That is why the Asians moved in. They saw a business opportunity. Yep. There's no grocery stores here. I can make a couple of bucks, just like the Greeks did in the 60s and 70s, you know.
With the Greek diner, what do you want? Peas carrots?
Yeah, oh, my God. 24 hours. Man, do I miss that.
Yeah, the Greek diners were awesome in Queens and other parts of the
man.
Well, now that you go to Suffolk, you'll still get some, but a lot of them are owned by, a lot of Middle Easterners.
Which I don't mind, I don't mind, Mediterranean food.
No.
But that is Greek.
But the Greek diners, man, Lou, brings up memories.
Hey, listen, if I want hash and eggs at 2 a.m, I got it.
There you go. There you go. Thanks, Lou. Always a pleasure to talk to Lou. Memories. But, well, there you go. That's how it goes in the big city. Let's start talking about Haiti. The temporary protective status. That's what's going on with Haiti now, with the Haitians here in the United States. And again, the politicians are jumping on the bandwagon saying that the Republicans are treating Haitians unfairly. They're deporting them, and they are under protective status. It's like, no, they're under temporary protective status. Some of them have been here for decades. And the Trump administration has said, look, enough. If you have a valid case for citizenship in the United States and you are on temporary protected status here in this country as a Haitian, then move your case along. Being here 10 years or longer it can't happen. This cannot keep happening. And lo and behold, all these politicians and some celebrities and whatnot coming out of the woodwork now to talk about what a crap hole, and I'm using the term instead of the actual word that Donald Trump used years ago. We might remember when he called Haiti an S-hole, and he was just beaten up about it by the media. And we remember Conan O'Brien packed up his show, and they flew down to Haiti to show America how wrong Trump is and how awesome Haiti is as a country. And there was Conan O'Brien floating in the ocean with a coconut drink with his hotel just off the beach, because you damn well know he didn't leave the compound. You know damn well when he swam back in and got on the beach, his security escorted him back into a Western-owned hotel. And that was that. Because Haiti is a crap hole. It has been a crap hole, and it will continue to be one. So their big argument here is, how could you possibly send these wonderful Haitians back to a country that is so dangerous and so awful? Well, you crucified Donald Trump for calling it that. Which way is it? Is it a great place with great people, or is it a crap hole that needs to be avoided at all costs? Let's listen to Ohio's own John Kasich. You remember him. He reared his ugly head during the presidential race a few years back. But here he is talking about Haiti and how dangerous it is and how awful Donald Trump is to try to get some of these Haitians off the government teat and back to Haiti. Let's listen to John here.
The Supreme Court decision has said that Haitians are going to have to be removed from Springfield, Ohio. I guess I understand that, but there is an opportunity for the Congress to extend temporary protection status, because things in Haiti are just deteriorating, and sending people back there with their families, to me, is just crazy. I wish the Congress would extend this for the Haitians, but if not, they'll say that that's the law. And to quote somebody, a figure from a Charles Dickens novel, if that's the law, then the law is an ass.
Good one. You write that? Oh, no. Dixon. Charles Dixon wrote it, as he was saying there. You know what? They always want to extend these things. That's what they were saying about the border. When Joe Biden had literally an invasion of illegals coming across our southern border, the solution was, well, we need a pathway to citizenship for them. They're still pouring in during that time, still pouring over the border. And their answer was pathway to citizenship. What, for the people that have been here for 20 years illegally, or the guy that just crossed over with a gaggle from Guatemala? Which one? Who gets the pathway to citizenship? Who gets the temporary status? Who gets relocated to the four corners of the country so they get lost and forgotten about, and now they're just part of the burden on American taxpayers? Which one? So when this, when Kasich says, can we extend it, please? How long? When is it time to say enough and round people up and get them the hell out of our country? Because that's what the law says. Well, sometimes the law is an ass. You're an ass. You're an ass. And all they want to do is prolong this. They want to push it down the road until once again they're in power and they can legislate to keep them here. They can shuffle things around and appoint more judges that allow them to be here. God forbid they do what they say they're going to do and increase the number of seats on the Supreme Court. And then they're in charge and have term limits on the Supreme Court. That's what they've been saying. If they were in charge and they had a Democrat, liberal majority Supreme Court, do you think they'd be crying that they want more seats and that they want term limits on Supreme Court justices? Or do you think it's because they don't have the majority and they're not in power? Of course it is. It's so blatantly obvious. But that's what we get. Transparent. They're so transparent. What they want is so obviously radical, agenda-driven nonsense in order to dismantle this country. We dealt with a liberal Supreme Court. We've dealt with Supreme Court justices that have held on. They were ill. They were on life support, and they wouldn't retire. It's part of the deal when you run the country. You have the White House, the Senate. You get certain liberties. To try to change the rules because you don't like that your opponent has the steering wheel and is in the driver's seat right now is ridiculous. God forbid, because the second they get the House and the Senate and the White House and are able to perhaps replace Supreme Court justices and get a majority, this country's really done. The open border again, everybody that's here is allowed to stay. They talk about it all the time. It's not a surprise. It's not a secret. They don't say, I hope they don't find out. We want every illegal that's here to be able to stay and vote for us. We want to fling the borders open again and bring in another 20 million. That's what's happening. I don't see how anyone can't see this, but that's what we're getting. That's what's happening. By the way, this is from 2018. This was Conan O'Brien's show, and like I said, Conan was just a huge advocate for how awesome Haiti is, and when Trump called it an S-hole. Oh, did they come out of the woodwork trying to prove him wrong? And Anderson Cooper was on Conan's show in 2018. And, boy, they were just talking about the wonder, the great, awesome place that Haiti is. Let's listen.
And I mean, Haiti is so, it's the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. But it's, a country can be poor economically and rich in culture and rich in the strength of the people.
Rich
and
in cannibalism.
In so many different ways. And Haiti is in that way among the richest countries I've ever been to. I mean, the Haitian people are incredibly strong, carry themselves with such dignity, and for generations, have had governments which have not paid attention to them, which have stolen from them, and yet, whatever adversity they have faced, they face it head on. And as I said, when you meet them, Haitians look you in the eye, they slap your hand hard when you shake it, and I think you're going to have an unforgettable experience. I've gone back a lot, obviously. We were the first team on the ground after the earthquake, and I go back on vacation. I go there for weekends. I mean, it's an amazing place. It's an incredible place.
Anderson goes there for weekends. How big do you need it to be, Anderson, that you got to go to Haiti? Jesus. He goes there to vacation. Do you still go, Anderson? You still fly to Haiti for a weekend to retreat? Oh, my God. But I guess that was right before Conan went, and he was just telling him how awesome it's going to be. Remember? I mean, all the news people, all the celebrities, they came out and just were crapping all over Donald Trump for calling Haiti an S-hole. And it has only gotten worse because the infrastructure's it has fallen apart. There's no government. There are warlords that run things there. And I've heard reports of cannibalism, which I am willing to believe based on other things I have seen. I am willing to believe cannibalism is taking place there. we do have, I guess, Zoran. Yeah, Zoran Memdani. I'll just read something. We'll play his clip after the break. Memdani says Haitians and Syrians are safe in New York City. Thank goodness. The Supreme Court has launched one of the largest attacks on immigrants in modern American history. This is Zoran Memdani's ex-post. Thousands of Haitians and Syrians now risk losing the right to live and work in the country they call home. What, Haiti? This decision will cause enormous pain across the 5 boroughs. Here in New York, it falls hardest on our Haitian community. Always the communities. One of the largest in the country, alongside Syrian families. I joined, what does he say? I joined labor leaders, elected officials, and advocates to send a clear message to immigrant New Yorkers. You belong here. We will not turn our backs on you. This is a legal matter. This is temporary protective status. Temporary. Are we supposed to wait till Haiti gets its crap together and is once again inhabitable by people? We're not allowed down there. There's no Western country that's allowed to go to Haiti and fix it and say, well, we got a stake in this now. How about we rebuild, we put up an infrastructure, a couple of resorts, and we take the reins. Oh, you colonizer. You're terrible. That's what would be said. So they'd rather sit there with warlords eating each other and saying Haitians can't go home. Back in a moment.
It's the Anthony Cumia Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
33 days, 33 episodes, no off switch. From the goals and the glory to the politics and the problems of the World Cup. If you want soccer analysis from a podcast that's been overanalyzing the game for more than 20 years, then this is it. Join me, Max Rushton, and our expert team of soccer journalists every day of the tournament. Can England end 60 years of hurt, or will this be another year of falling just short? Probably. World Cup Daily, listen wherever you get your podcasts or watch full episodes on YouTube.
Adobe Firefly is the all-in-one creative studio with AI-powered image and video editing for today's creative process. Built for creators of every kind, Firefly helps you generate, edit, and experiment fast. Because the asks aren't getting smaller, the budgets aren't getting bigger, and the timelines, oh yeah, still tight. With all the best creative AI models in one place, Firefly brings your ideas to life. Unlock a better way to make with Adobe Firefly.
Suffering from dry, tired, irritated eyes? Don't let dry eyes win. Use Sustain Pro. It hydrates, restores, and protects dry eyes for up to 12 hours. Sustain Pro. Triple action dry eye relief.
This episode is brought to you by Starbucks.
That is fire. Whoa, that's good.
This might be the drink of the summer.
Okay, I like this one too. I'm rocking with it. Okay.
Try it for yourself. Starbucks Refreshers Concentrates are coming home. Find them in the coffee aisle and make it yours.
It's the Anthony Cumia Show.
Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
The Anthony Cumia Show. Let's go right to the phones. Tom in Shirley, New York. Oh, boy. Did you guys have a murder out there in Mastic recently?
Yeah. I mean, it's not like it's normal. It's not like it's not normal.
It's crazy. I think back to my...
Absolutely crazy. Anthony, I was going fishing today on the South Shore, okay? Yeah. And my buddy and I are going down to his boat. It's got to be like maybe, I don't know, 9 o'clock in the morning. And there's this guy cracked out doing the right thing for himself, but pissing in the sewer in a parking lot right on 111. Route 111. And I was like, you think this guy can go behind a building or something like that? You know, I was livid. I was so livid. But anyway, here's my point.
Yeah.
This DSA movement, where are the old... I was born and raised
Democrat socialist movement for people that...
Yes, I know. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And there should be something said through Congress to eliminate socialists. Or we have in the Constitution, it says no communist parties allowed. It should also have clarified and put an amendment to it, or whatever's got to be done. maybe Trump could do an executive order. No socialist, any communist or matriarchs at all in this country. That's not what we are funded on.
Well, you know
how I think about it? Mm-hmm. I think that my theory is inside the box, looking at outside the box. I'm a very common sense man. I'm 66 years old. I remember the bicentennial immensely.
Oh, yeah.
It was uplifting. I drive around, like the old slogan said, baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet.
Right.
I drive a GMC 2013 with pride, maroon, with a 6-foot flag post on the back over my door. And I fly the flag, court flag, and I sew it up when it gets frayed. I got pride in this country like I did in 1776 when I was 16 years old. People right now,
1776.
it is liberal movement. All these people want something for free. Well, they think inside the box. And the theory there is, they get it for free. But they're going to take it from the rich until the rich move out, and they're inside the box, and everyone else is on the outside of the box saying, you freaking a-holes.
Yeah, they don't
I don't know why the Dems, the true old Dems don't stand up. This mind-boggles me.
Yeah, the Democrats, the Democrat Party has been so insane over the past quite some time now, decades, and they've gotten more and more crazy, more and more extreme, irrational, that this is what they've created. They've created a party that nominates literally communists and Islamic extremists into office, and that's now the face, the future. I've seen interviews with Democrats, and they're like, oh, yeah, Democrat socialism. That's the future of our country and our party. What? Are you out of your mind? That should be an instant you lose. You get no votes. No one wants this in this country. But people apparently do. I don't know. Maybe we're out of fashion, Tom.
And Anthony, for a little bit of humor right now, this is like when Yamamoto said to those Japanese pilots before they were going into the battle of the Cold Sea, I think, today's mission, you fire your plane, shoot your bullets, drop your bombs on every enemy ship, and then crash your ship into the bomb, into the aircraft carrier, killing yourself and everyone on board. Any questions? And this one reluctant pilot says, yes, Honorable General, are you out of your freaking mind? Come on, that's funny, man.
Yeah, I've heard funnier. All right, Tom. Thank you for the call. Hey, leave the jokes to the profession. No, I don't know. Maybe it was lost in the translation. They say that sometimes. Maybe in its native Japanese, the joke was hilarious. I don't know. Anyway, commies, Zoran. Oh, we did that. Well, you have a clip from Zoran, but I think we'll have to play that at the top of the next hour. We have Debbie Wasserman Schultz. She wants to talk about the Haitians that are here on temporary protective status. She crawled out of the sewer. That hair on her. Does she have friends? Does she have any friends that might say, hey, Debbie, come here. What is that? What are you doing on that head? The curls, but it looks wet and greasy. I don't know. But she's come out from her rock to talk about, of course, the fact that they should stay here. The Haitians, even though they're here temporarily for 20 years, some of them temporarily, that they should remain here. And that's the problem. That's the entire problem with this, is that they want everything to be permanently temporary or temporarily permanent. Every single person here illegally that ICE, thank God, is throwing out, signed something or was put through a court hearing. Not all of them, of course, but that's what was happening under the Biden administration. And now, what do we got? We're screwed. Back in a moment.
It's the Anthony Cumia Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network. It's the Anthony Cumia Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
It is the Anthony Cumia Show. Thanks for tuning in. And, of course, I want to tell you about FanDuel. FanDuel predicts, the prediction market. You know what that is? You predict things that are going to happen, and you can wager on it. How much fun is that? How much fun is it? Just makes everything in life that much more exciting. You could bet on, how about this one? When will this Iranian conflict end? Oh, boy. I don't think anyone knows. It keeps, it's right there. We're going to end it. It's got, no, we're back to bombing again. Or, of course, the World Cup, soccer. I've never been into soccer, but when you have a little something wagered on the game, all of a sudden I'm rooting for England like crazy yesterday. Hanging out, watching the game, because you have a little something on it. And it's not just sports. It could be a player that, in sports, it could be a player, how many goals they score, pretty much anything. And the other part is politics, the stock market. Maybe you want to put a little wager on the stock market without actually getting into the stock market, which could be pretty dicey. If you've done that before. But, FanDuel predicts prediction market. And if you're a little scared, you could look and see what other people have wagered on FanDuel predicts. And, it's a little safer in a crowd. Oh, if this many people think that's going to happen, then I'm going to put a little wager on it. Right? That's how it works. And, that's how you can make a little money on what's going on anywhere on the four corners of the earth. FanDuel predicts. And don't forget, it's offered by FanDuel Prediction Markets, LLC, a registered futures commission merchant. 18 plus, please. Bonus is non-withdrawable and expires 7 days after receipt. Trading derivatives involves significant risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Manage your activity with our consumer protection tools. Restrictions apply. See terms at FanDuel.com/predicts/bonus-offer-terms. FanDuel predicts. Yeah, I've kind of gotten into that soccer thing. And like I said, it's a little more interesting when you put a little wager on it. That's for sure. I was just looking through X. Oh, my God. There is a pride parade, and they're marching down the street with a hybrid flag, a trans-Palestinian flag. Does someone have to tell these people what that would be like? Try flying that in front of Islam. Wouldn't pan out too well for you. I don't think you'd be getting out of that one unscathed. Let's talk a little bit about Chicago. Oh, I gotta love Chicago. Brandon Johnson, he has given me so much stuff to talk about over the course of his tenure as mayor of the great city of Chicago. He loves the blame game. He loves it. Anything that happens in Chicago that he's responsible for, he was elected, the infrastructure, the housing, crime, of course, the police, the fire department. He's in charge. Unless something happens, and then he'll find someone else to blame because he's perfect. Nothing could possibly go wrong under his leadership. And this was a new one. I've heard Brandon Johnson blame a lot of people, a lot of things. Of course, slavery, likes blaming that. Systemic racism. I don't know. The fact that the YMCA was closing its doors at night instead of letting the gang members come in and play ping pong instead of drive-by shootings, because that's what gang members in Chicago really want to do. They drive around and they're looking to shoot an op, one of the opposing gang members. And then if only they saw a light on in a YMCA and saw the door open, they'd go, wait. Put the guns away. We're not doing that drive-by tonight. We're going to go in and play Parcheesi. I hear they have a whole shelf of games. We're going to play Trouble. Instead of getting in trouble, we're going to play Trouble. Pop-O-Matic pops the dice, pop a 6, and you move twice. That's his solution to the rampant carnage that goes on. But he's got some people to blame here. AC1 is the clip. Let's listen to who Brandon Johnson blames today.
So, yeah, it is personal. Black death has been unfortunately accepted in this country for a very long time.
The bubonic plague.
We had a chance 60 years ago to get at the root causes, and people mocked President Johnson. And we ended up with Richard Nixon.
Huh? Wait, what?
I'm going to work hard every day to transform this city. That's what it takes to build a better, stronger, safer Chicago, and I need everybody to step up.
Nixon. Who knew? Who knew Nixon was to blame for the unprecedented murders going on in Chicago in 2026? Could you imagine that? They mocked President Johnson for what? The Civil Rights Act, I guess. And then look what that got us. Nixon? I don't think Nixon was that bad on civil rights. He also did a few other things, which good or bad, opened up China. And, but was he blaming Dick Nixon? Richard Milhouse Nixon for the crime? Henry, what do I do? The black mayor is blaming me. What did I do, Henry? He is constantly blaming anything, anyone for his own inadequacies as mayor of Chicago. And Richard Nixon, I mean, come on. That's a reach. That is a reach. Brandon Johnson also, let's not stop there, he also signed a gun violence reduction executive order. And more of these ridiculous programs, executive orders, policies that do absolutely nothing to make Chicago safer. You have a police force. Let them do their jobs. Arrest the thugs. Arrest the teens that are doing the teen takeovers. Put them in jail. Go through the process, the trial, convictions, sentencing. Let them see some time. Let there be consequence. Don't allow stores to be looted. And then there's a problem if somebody steps up and tries to stop people from, they call it shoplifting, but it's not shoplifting. It's not a little girl stealing mascara. It's men going in there and strong arm robbing these various stores. But he won't do anything about it. And then with the murders going on at the hands of young black people with guns. And he thinks the problem is reducing the guns or gun violence. He calls it gun violence. It's gang-related violence. And he won't do anything about it because he doesn't want to look like he's bullying the black community by locking up their kids, because they won't do what parents need to do. First of all, parent. And he will not use the police to do what the police should be doing. So let's listen to this. Brandon Johnson, his gun violence executive order, AC3.
As the first mayor, certainly in modern history, to wake up every day in one of the most disinvested communities where we have not escaped the trauma that comes with disinvestment, where bullets have come through the windows of our home. Too many children and too many families are being asked to duck and dodge bullets, living in communities that are absent of opportunity. In recent years, Chicago has sustained historic reductions in crime and violence, with homicides falling to their lowest in 60 years during 2025. They're applauding. Now, of course, one act of violence is one too many. So that's why I'm going to sign an executive order establishing the Office of Gun Violence Reduction.
As a survivor of gun violence, I know that behind every statistic is a person, a family, and a community whose life has been forever changed. The trauma doesn't end when the headlines fade. It stays with us, and too often survivors are left to navigate that pain alone. Those most affected by violence deserve more than to be consulted after decisions are made. They deserve a meaningful role in making them. For survivors, this isn't about creating another office. It's about creating a government that works together with urgency, intention, and in the partnership with the communities most affected by violence.
Chicago deserves better. We deserve a department whose sole mission is to reduce shootings, prevent homicide, support survivors, coordinate violence intervention efforts, and build safer communities. Right. People are asking, can we afford this? And my response is simple. You cannot put a price tag on life, but you can certainly put a price tag on death. Violence has cost Chicago priceless lives, shattered families, weakened neighborhoods, driven away businesses, and cost taxpayers billions of dollars. Morally and economically, it makes for more sense to fund peace than continuing to pay for violence.
One of the things that frustrates me more is that you have some members who...
You could cut that off, I guess. Holy Jesus, Palomino. That's he makes an office of gun violence prevention. You have the means. The police department. Set them loose. Let them do the job. The bodies stack up every week in Chicago. Yeah, the murders are down from their highs of 700 and some odd dead a few years ago under Lori Lightfoot. But, you know, last week, what were we talking? 50 shot, 10 dead? That's still a problem. And another office of this and office of that isn't going to do anything. You have the police. Use them. Back in a minute.
It's the Anthony Cumia Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network. It's the Anthony Cumia Show.
Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
The Anthony Cumia Show. Let's get right back to the phones here. Scott in Venice, Florida. What's up, man?
Hey, Anthony. Great show as always.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. So many topics I can comment on, but these communists, to me, they feel like they're these kids that grew up with very wealthy parents. They've never worked a day in their life. Everything's been paid for.
Yep.
They don't have an concept of what the value of a dollar is, or how to earn it, or how to keep it. And if their life was a line from a movie, it'd be, Hooper, you got city heads. You've been counting money all your life.
Tie me a sheepshank.
But I mean, they don't understand how capitalism works, how the economy works, and they think that money is just an infinite resource that will never run out.
Yeah, they have no idea where money comes from, what it is, what it means. They literally believe if you just print more of it and hand it out that everyone could be rich. They don't understand what the value of money is, how money has a value, and right. why you can make it through working. They don't understand any of that. They believe this communist nonsense that everyone can have whatever they want as long as we, get rid of the rich people or tax the hell out of them and have Zoran Mamdani in office to give everyone the money from the rich people. They really believe this. It's a childlike way of thinking about how a country is supposed to work.
Yeah, I mean, now, do you think that this is maybe just an extension of Trump derangement syndrome? I mean, it's like just taking it to the next level.
Yeah, I think it's Trump derangement syndrome has been a progressive disease. It's not something that stops and hits you and you got to live with it. It's not treatable. It just gets worse and worse, like dementia. And I think this is part of it.
I think it's gathered up all the crazies and centralized them onto one topic to focus on, because like we never hear about prop circles anymore or people seeing El Chupacabra and things like that. It's all just focused on Trump, and how horrible he is and how he's going to destroy the world.
That's a great point. Yeah, we don't really hear about those crazy things, the Loch Ness Monster and stuff like that anymore, because the nuts are out there to take pictures of and look at and marvel at how crazy they are.
Exactly.
Love it. Thanks, Scott. I think you wanted to say something else, but que sera, sera. Whatever will be, as they say. Talking about the gun thing, Brandon Johnson trying to sign an EO. Not trying, he did. But he thinks that's going to work to reduce gun violence in his city. They don't care. I see videos on a daily basis from all of these major cities, including Chicago, a lot of them from Chicago, where they will show a neighborhood, a corner somewhere, and there will be a dozen or so young black kids standing there, mugging for the camera, waving guns around, waving Glocks with switches on them to make them fully automatic, with giant rotary magazines. Looks like a magazine you'd put in a Thompson submachine gun, sticking out of the bottom of a Glock so they could get 50 rounds full automatic coming out of a pistol. Then holding up the chopper, an AK with a folding stock, and all these things, by the way, illegal in most of the country, definitely illegal in Chicago. And this is what we see. And here's what gets me. You're on video. There's faces. I've seen some videos where you could see the street corner that they're standing at. The name of the street. They'll say it. They're bragging about what street they live on, and someone, some other group may better not come down this street. Where is the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms? Because I guarantee you, if it was a bunch of white dudes, one white guy that seems maybe, what has he got, a Confederate flag on his truck? ATF would be knocking this guy's door down and putting a shotgun to his head if there was any indication that he was the person on a video doing this. I've seen so many situations where they could round these people up and arrest them on weapons charges, and you get nothing. It continues. So what is your EO, Brandon Johnson, on gun violence reduction really going to do? I'll tell you, nothing. It's going to do nothing. You are putting more and more restrictions, infringements on legal law-abiding gun owners' rights to bear arms, and you're doing nothing when there's blatant illegal thugs and criminals holding guns, using them, committing crimes with them, modifying them illegally, and nothing happens. What do you expect to happen every weekend? More carnage. So sign your EOs, tie your cops' hands behind their back, and blame Richard Milhouse Nixon. Great. So I'm looking at Hawaii, Senator Mazie Hirono. She's another winner, liberal Democrat garbage. And she's a little upset because the Supreme Court has decided, and they made a decision on guns and where and when you're allowed to carry them. And think she's upset that you no longer have to ask permission of the owner of Walmart to go in and exercise your God-given Second Amendment right. Let's listen to the senator here from Hawaii, AC 8.
The Supreme Court recently made a decision that tossed out Hawaii's gun safety law that required people who want to carry a gun into, say, a Walmart to get the owner of Walmart to say, okay, you can do that. Here's Hawaii trying to enact gun safety laws for the protection of our people. The Supreme Court decided that the right to carry a gun was more important than the right of the state of Hawaii to provide gun safety protections to our people. See, this is an out-of-control Supreme Court majority. There are strong dissents, but I want everyone to understand that our country, which is awash in guns, is certainly not being helped by these kinds of decisions.
Oh, my God. She says rights. The right to carry a gun. Yeah, it is a right. You damn well better know that, Senator. And I don't believe the framers, the founding fathers, felt that as the years went by, people's Second Amendment right would include, hey, why don't you ask permission of Walmart before you could go in there? How about no? I go into places that put those signs up. They got the gun with the red circle and the slash through it outside. And I look at that and I don't give it a second thought. I carry concealed. No one is going to tell me when and where I can protect myself. I went through all the things I needed to go through to legally carry a gun. I don't need to ask the boss of Walmart if I can exercise my Second Amendment right. I went through whatever federal restrictions and state restrictions have been put on Americans to infringe on their rights. Reasonable, safe restrictions on guns. No, they're not. They are blatant infringements. And some states are unbelievably guilty of infringing on our rights. We'll take a quick break and get back to this topic because you know damn well I'm pretty passionate about my Second Amendment rights. Back in a moment.
It's the Anthony Cumia Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network. It's the Anthony Cumia Show.
Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
The Anthony Cumia Show, talking about guns, this gun control. Of course, the Supreme Court decided that you wouldn't have to ask permission in Hawaii if you're a concealed carry gun holder. You wouldn't have to ask permission of the Walmart to walk into their store. We have the right to bear arms. We have a right to protect ourselves. And I certainly want to use the best tools available to me. I am not at the age anymore where I can duke it out with an assailant. I'm sure you don't want your own grandma having to engage in a open knife fight with someone from MS-13. It would be much nicer if she had the tools available to dispatch that person without having to get into a knife fight with them. Hawaii Senator Mazie Hirono can go screw in my book. And this brings up, this is a case from 1991. And this is why I will never pay attention to those signs that tell me I cannot carry a weapon in your establishment. There are certain places I know. I went to the post office the other day, and I left my weapon in the car because you cannot carry a weapon in the post office. That's a law. You will get in trouble. The signs at various businesses or locations, that's a policy. It's a suggestion. And for the most part, no one ever knows. You're carrying concealed. You're being smart about it. But I certainly am not going to put myself in a position where I'm vulnerable if something does happen because there's an anti-gun person that owns the store or is the manager or something. Ain't going to happen to me. Ain't going to happen. This is a tragedy that happened back in 1991 in Killeen, Texas. Luby's Cafeteria was the name of this restaurant. George Pierre Henard drove his pickup truck through the front window, and he exited the truck armed with 2 semi-automatic pistols and methodically opened fire on the patrons. 23 innocent people were killed, 27 others wounded before the shooter engaged in a shootout with cops and ultimately took his own life. Let's see. He had a history of erratic behavior. No clear motive was ever noted as to why he did this. Now, here's the ripple effect that took place in Texas. The tragedy left profound marks on gun rights advocacy. Several survivors, most notably Susanna Greta Hupp, who tragically lost both of her parents in the shooting, became a leading figure in the fight for concealed carry rights. The lobbying contributed to the 1995 passage of Texas law allowing residents with gun permits to carry concealed weapons. It turns out this woman had her gun, but you were not allowed to carry concealed in certain establishments, and she had left her gun in her vehicle. So she had to sit there cowering under a table and watch her parents be gunned down by a mental patient, a maniac, without any chance of, I don't know, taking your own safety into your own hands. And I will never, that sticks in my mind every time I see one of those signs. No concealed carry guns allowed in this establishment. Yeah? How about you F off? I'm carrying. That will never happen. Imagine this girl knowing she had a gun on her moments before, and because of some stupid law or policy, she left it in her car, and now she's watching innocent people, including her parents, get gunned down. Imagine that weighing on you. If only I took it with me. You know, maybe it wouldn't have worked at all. Maybe she'd be dead too. But I certainly would like to have the opportunity to defend myself than not. And anybody that tells you different is a liberal mental patient, out of their mind, or completely delusional. That's right. That's what I'm saying, my friends. Let's talk to Nancy. Nancy in Portland. Nancy, what's up?
Yeah, just regarding Brandon Johnson.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous, this new coalition or whatever he's building group, anti-crime stuff, when President Trump offered to bring in the National Guard to help them.
Right, yes. And what did he say?
It was free.
No.
I mean, I think it's free. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's free. And that would help. That's what they need in Chicago, in these areas that are they've been ravaged by, teen violence, as they call it. They need law enforcement, the National Guard, whatever it takes to come in there and remedy the problem. He will never do it. He says it makes the community unsafe to bring in law enforcement and federal law enforcement. How can you get more unsafe than 50 shot and 10 dead in one weekend?
Yeah, it's just talk about a embarrassment and a shame on our country, these cities, and these Democrats and these crazy people been in charge so long. that we just accepted. It's like, oh, they're killing people in Chicago. I mean, I'm from a small town. There's, I've never been around any kind of violence. I've been, safe and lucky all my life. And, you think about it, like that lady that was murdered in the restaurant. Oh, my God, that left her weapon because of their stupid rules.
Yeah, that's it. They don't want you to have the ability to be self-sufficient, whether it's your own safety, your food, transportation, housing. They want you to have to need them. I want you to want me. They need you to need them, and they will never let you be independent and self-sufficient, because then you don't have to vote for them.
You're so quick and so funny. I want you to want me. That's
there you
so
go.
funny.
Nancy, what brand of cigarettes did you smoke, Nancy?
Never.
Oh, wow. I'm just noticing your voice a little raspy.
Yeah, I guess, some of us weren't meant for radio.
Oh, no, it's fine. It's fine. I'm just saying, I thought maybe you smoked. I was Marlboro for a few years. I enjoyed my Marlboros.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I was cool. Yeah. It looked cool. I want to tell all the kids listening, cigarettes look cool when you smoke them. Thank you. Anyway, thank you, Nancy, for the call. Of course, I'm joking. I don't want the authorities at the radio station to say, hey, you can't tell kids to smoke, Anthony. What are you, a shock jock again? I thought you were done with your shock jock days. This is another just amazing thing from the left. The fact that a judge, who is this judge? Let me find this. Here it is. Leftist activist Obama-appointed judge Amy Berman Jackson, hyphenated, just ruled that SNAP, that's the welfare, the program where people don't have to work, can have a bunch of kids, and we get to pay for their food. It's called SNAP. And they made a policy, Trump and Kennedy made a policy that SNAP can't pay for junk food. Can't pay for junk food. It's ridiculous that we're paying through our taxes for these leeches to buy food for themselves, of course, they're all obese, and their multitude of kids, and they could buy whatever they want. What do you want? Kool-Aid pineapples? Is that still a thing, or was that like a week? That took off for like a week. Now it doesn't seem that big a deal. Junk food. And leave it to the left to have a judge strike it down and say, nope, we want these SNAP recipients to eat crap and sugar and sweets, cereals. And who would do this? For the sole reason, by the way, of just trying to screw Trump and Robert Kennedy Jr. and people that want to save taxpayer money, because that stuff is expensive, and maybe not have the people that are on government assistance be clinically obese. Not just, oh, wow, that person's fat. Morbidly obese. Always made me laugh. So what's the motivation here on the part of the judge? Well, Trump came up with it. Robert Kennedy Jr. came up with it. So we'll strike it down. Because I can't think of any good reason you would want to do this. Why would you want this to be part of what you're standing behind? Allowing these welfare recipients to eat the worst stuff possible. So let's see. According to Amy, junk food like neon-colored pineapple dunked in Kool-Aid, yes, Cheetos, they're nutritious, and taxpayers must continue to foot the bill. This, by the way, is the same judge who has been overturned twice so far. She tried blocking the dismantling of Elizabeth Warren's pet project, the CFPB, the hell is that, and was overturned. She then tried to block Trump from firing the head of the Office of Special Counsel and was overturned. Amy was also the judge who sentenced Roger Stone to prison for 40 months. Remember that? When they raided his house and CNN was there and they dragged him out with his wife in his pajamas, in handcuffs, and he got 40 months. Yeah, she's the judge that sentenced him. She thinks it's a good idea for welfare recipients on our dime to buy the crappiest food there is. All right. Maybe we should hear Representative Brandon Gill. This guy's hilarious. He was questioning a food security expert. I don't even know what that is. A food security expert. And I guess they were having another one of these congressional hearings, asking this woman if soda is healthy. It's an easy question. I think no matter how much you love soda, you know it's not healthy. You know it's not good for you. You know that maybe some fresh squeezed orange juice or water is probably much better. I am guilty as charged. Mexican Coke made with real cane sugar, I can drink a gallon of it and still want more. But I know it's not healthy. This woman will not fess up. She will not answer the question. And Representative Gill is just beside himself. He's laughing at her inability to answer this question. AC 14.
What does SNAP stand for?
Is a supplemental nutrition assistance program.
What's nutritional about Coca-Cola?
I am not a nutritionist. I am a food security expert in ensuring that individuals have the food resources that they need.
This is a common sense question. All of these have been common sense questions. I'm just asking you, is there nutritional value to sugary sodas? It's a yes or no question.
Yeah.
I am not an expert. I would have to look at the dietary guidelines.
You're not an expert. I don't think that there's nutritional value to sugary sodas. I think most people in this room would agree with that assessment.
Absolutely.
But you have no opinion?
I'm here to talk about the food needs and the hunger crisis that individuals here in America are facing.
Are you that ideologically dug in that you want our tax dollars paying for sugary sodas, that you will not, in a straightforward way, admit that sugary sodas are not healthful for the American people?
I think that focusing on soda when people are going hungry.
We spend a lot of our tax dollars are spent on soda. That's why I'm asking about it. You appear to be so ideologically dug in that you won't answer a simple question that's not an appropriate use of our tax dollars, and that does not, in fact, make the American people more healthy.
I won't answer because there's no data proving that.
Do you need data to determine whether drinking soda is healthy?
I think
I'm sorry. It's a serious question. Is there some? Do you believe that perhaps drinking sodas every day is healthy?
The worst health outcome is hunger. When the individuals don't have the resources.
Do you satiate hunger with Coca-Cola?
I did not say that.
But you said that the worst health outcome is hunger, and I'm asking you about sugary sodas.
And I'm focusing on the nutrition needs and making sure that children have the resources.
Is your organization funded by soft drink makers?
Oops.
I am not in charge of development, but no.
It's not. Okay. Is your organization funded by organizations that make money from food stamps?
She's boggled.
Do organizations who profit off of food stamps fund your organization or businesses?
I mean, I can't comment to that. Happy to talk about the research that needed.
Does General Mills fund your organization?
I don't have access to that information.
I do. It's right here. They do fund your organization.
It's right here.
Do they profit off of food stamps?
Retailers are the major beneficiaries.
Do you think that that's a conflict of interest?
That's where EBT dollars are utilized.
Yes, and they're profiting off of your advocacy. Do you think that that's a conflict of interest?
jeez, man. Slamming it.
I think most people think that's a conflict of interest. I know you don't want to answer. My time is up. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Now, as per usual, nothing will come of this, unfortunately. I love seeing people getting grilled at these hearings, and that was a pretty good one. It also turns out that PepsiCo, obviously the Pepsi-Cola company, is also financially tied to her organization. So the soda thing, obviously, it all boils down to corruption and fraud and misuse of funds. And on the receiving end are people that are obese and allowed to use tax dollars, which should be for healthy food. It should be a requirement. Look, I'm sorry. I can go to the store and buy Coca-Cola and chug it down if I want to. That's part of the privilege of being a working person with his own money. But if you're asking the government to give you money for food, they sure as hell have a say in what you can and can't buy. That's not infringing on someone. You are taking money from the citizens, and the representatives of those citizens should absolutely be able to dictate what you buy and can't buy with that money. And if you're trying to feed children with it, then you better damn well be buying healthy food that isn't going to turn them into the fat slobs that their mother is, or their grandmother, whoever's raising them. When I saw that, I thought it was great. Just another grift. Just another grift from some organization that's stealing from us. All right. Back in a moment.
It's the Anthony Cumia Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
This episode is brought to you by Redfin. You're listening to a podcast, which means you're probably multitasking. Maybe even scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving homes without expecting to get them. But Redfin isn't just built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. With agents who close twice as many deals, when you find the one, you've got a real shot at getting it. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
This episode is brought to you by Google Health. Stop chasing someone else's definition of health. What matters is what's healthy for you. Google Health offers a new kind of coach built with Gemini for effortless tracking, sleep insights, and holistic coaching tailored to you. Visit googlestore.com to learn more and start a new relationship with your health. Requires Google account, Google Health app, internet, and Google Health premium subscription. Features subject to change. Availability and results vary. Not intended for medical purposes. Works independently of Gemini apps. Check responses for accuracy.
Hey, I like your new RAV4.
Thanks, yours too.
What does RAV stand for anyway?
To me, it's the Remarkably Advanced Vehicle.
Really? To me, it's the Runway Approved Vehicle for its amazing style.
What about Remarkably Adaptable Vehicle because of its versatile cargo space?
Or Really Admired Vehicle?
Oh, or Really Awesome Vehicle.
It really is the Recreational Activity Vehicle. The stylish 2026 Toyota RAV4 Limited. What's your RAV4?
Faraday presenta Ojos con Alergia y Picazón contra el jardinero. Y el ganador es Faraday Extra Fuerte. Para aliviar la picazón de los ojos por alergia, actúa más rápido y supera a Claritin y Flonase aún a las 24 horas. Faraday, adelante.
It's the Anthony Cumia Show.
Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
The Anthony Cumia Show. What a great evening. Spending this Sunday night with you people, the listeners of this very program. We do appreciate it. And, boy, it wouldn't be a Sunday without Sandra. Sandra from Jersey, what's up?
Well, Anthony, I wasn't going to call your show anymore.
Whoa!
I was I'm being honest with you, because you didn't stick up for me when your buddy, Joaquin, said I have a pouty mouth. I have a professional mouth. I'm very professional most of the time. One time when I called your show, I said, holy whatever. Okay? I made a mistake.
Oh, right.
For him,
okay.
Okay, so for him to talk about me, I could say things about him, but I would never stoop so low.
Ooh, look
No,
at this.
no, because he shared things about himself that's not perfect, but I wouldn't go pick on him. So I hope he's listening. I don't appreciate what Joaquin said about me, and you didn't stick up for me. Instead of saying, Sandra, don't say that about her. You said, oh, yeah, she's waiting to get on your show. I hung up after that. Who wants
jeez.
Mm-hmm.
Sandra,
What?
I apologize. I stick up for you. You call. You're very courteous and cordial. And, yes, you let slip the S word once.
One time in my life.
And that should not classify you as a potty mouth. So.
Right, exactly.
All right.
I
take
made
it
a
back.
boo-boo.
I take it back, Sandra.
Well, you didn't say it. He said it. Joaquin,
well,
the
I didn't
angel,
defend
your
you.
buddy.
So,
you
right.
didn't defend me.
Take the apology, Sandra. Jesus. All right.
I had to get it off my chest. Thank you for listening to me.
Very good.
It
Thank
was
you,
really
dear.
bothering me.
All
Thank
right.
you.
I don't want to make any enemies here. You're always wonderful when you call, Sandra. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
There goes Sandra. All right. Some people, they don't like, they need the record to be clean. I get it. Here's a couple of things that were sitting around for the whole show that I think I'll get to. First of all, Ma'am Danny's rent freeze. How you guys feeling about that, huh? Zohran Mamdani delivered his signature campaign promise. One of his signature campaign promises. Let's be real. Those free buses. What happened? I think the city, I think it was in Colorado, one of the cities that he was basing his free buses on, that city had to go back to having buses where people pay fares because they ran out of money. You cannot run buses for free. It doesn't work. The buses need to be maintained. They need fuel. The maintenance crew needs to be paid. The driver needs to be paid. All kinds of things that cost money. We just, free bus. That's easy. We'll just let the passengers drive it and fix it when it's broken and buy the gas for it. So this was another part of his signature campaign promises. After New York City's rent guideline board voted 7-1 to approve the first ever 2-year rent freeze in the board's history for roughly 1 million rent-stabilized apartments across the city. The goal is that every single apartment in New York has a rent freeze. This, in some cases, I guess, is good if you're a tenant and you don't want to pay more rent. But again, just like the free buses, the cost of everything is going up, especially in a city like New York. How the hell are the landlords supposed to pay their taxes and the maintenance on the buildings? And I'm sure there's so many fees in New York. I can't imagine what the city taxes are for real estate in New York. It's got to be obscene. So we'll see how this works out with Zohran Mamdani. Also out of New York, Letitia James, Tish James. She says starting, I guess it was yesterday, New York's law banning most law enforcement officers from wearing masks while on duty goes into effect. This is a critical protection to help New Yorkers feel safe and ensure accountability. If you see someone breaking the law, contact us, and then you could contact Letitia James. I'll tell you what makes me feel unsafe. Is that what it is? This is critical protection to help New Yorkers keep New Yorkers safe and ensure accountability. The thugs not wearing masks. How about we go to that? How about we make it so the thugs walking around aren't allowed to wear masks while you're assaulted and robbed and murdered and raped and so on and so on. I don't really mind the cops wearing masks. It's fine. They have badges on. They have names on their shirts. Yeah, I don't mind, especially considering they're doing it because the liberals are so mentally ill that they will put their names out, the names of their families, where they live, and try to kill them. That's what happens when the lunatic left gets to doxing some of these officers just trying to do their job. And what are you going to do, Letitia James? What is your goal here? To lock up the police? The police are going to arrest ICE agents and whatnot? Just another load of crap from Letitia James. Thank you for tuning in, people. We do appreciate it. And we'll be back next week. Until then, have yourselves a great night.
Thanks for listening to the Anthony Cumia Show. You can hear the Anthony Cumia Show Sunday nights at 8. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?